Hello guys, welcome to the video. I hope you all are well. Today's build video, guys, is for the Witch Doctor class for patch 269. Guys, 269 is now live across the worldwide, and this is the updated Spirit Barrage set for Mundunugu's Regalia, guys, the Spirit Barrage set. Now, for those who don't know, basically, we got a nerf, okay? We got a bit of a nerf, guys, on the dot, because basically it was overperforming. Witch Doctor and Cedar last patch and season were like hitting 150, so Blizzard wanted to rein it in a little bit to bring it in line with other classes, which is fair enough. But don't worry, a lot of people think, oh no, Witch Doctor's dead now, they've got no damage, they can't do anything. It's a gutted class. Far from it, far from it. I put together a new build here, guys, for solo, and it's only around about 3 to 4 levels out of GR solo push than it was previously on the last patch. Okay, which is pretty good. So yeah, full guide, guys, in the description of the video as usual. Okay, guys, so for those that don't know, guys, the Spirit Barrage set, Mundunugu's Regalia, is basically a direct nuker build, okay? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, it's fantastic. It's really, really good. 2-set bonus. Big Bad Voodoo now follows you and lasts twice as long, which is great. So as you cast this, it follows you around and keeps that buff on you all the time, which is just so good. It's double duration. Also, guys, because of the way I've changed this build as well, you can keep BBV up permanently as well, because we're using Gogok in one of the rings there. We'll go over that in just a sec. 4-set bonus. Gain 60% damage reduction for 30 seconds when you enter the Spirit Realm. So as soon as you cast Spirit Walk here, you get this buff in the last 30 seconds. This gives you 6% damage reduction. Keep this up at all times, otherwise you will probably die. Okay, you'll probably die. Then, guys, of course, right there at the bottom there, 6-piece set. Spirit Barrage deals 25% increased damage plus additional 1% equal to 5 times your mana regeneration per second. Okay, so yeah, that's the base set. Alright, so let's go through the rest of the gear then. Okay, guys, we're using Captain Crimson set in this build as usual, okay, because this just gives us so much damage and damage reduction as well, which is great. 2-set bonus, regenerates 6,000 life per second, reduce all cooldowns of all skills by 20%, reduce all resource cost by 20% as well, which is great. So yeah, you can just nuke 24/7, which is great. 3-piece set bonus, damage dealt is increased by your percentage of cooldown reduction. So the higher your cooldown, the more damage you do. Right now I've got 54%, but remember, I've got Gogok here as well, gives us an extra 15% on top. This is one way to replace some of the damage loss from Enforcer and Mask and Germ. Brilliant. And then, guys, damage taken is reduced by your percentage of resource cost reduction. Okay, so I got resource cost reduction in here on my shoulders. I wish I had out my weapon. If I had my weapon, it would be so tanky, man. But right now, my resource cost reduction is right here, 47%. So I'm taking an extra 47% less damage on top as well, because I'm using Crimson. So he buffs your damage and buffs your damage reduction as well. It's brilliant. So good, man. It's awesome. Nice. Okay, guys, so first ring you use, of course, is the Ring of Emptiness. This procs your 300% increased damage enemies fight through your Haunt or Locust. For those that don't know, it only takes one spell now, Haunt or Locust, okay? So you can just use Locust or Pestilence, go bang, spreads to the whole screen, and procs that damage bonus for 8 seconds. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. First gem you're going to use, guys, of course, is Bane of the Trapped Man for the extra damage bonus. Nice. Okay, belt, guys, is Crimson as well, of course. Legs is Catechins and Thrust. Second ring is the Compass Rose, aka the Endless Walk set. So when you stand still, you get basically 100% damage buffs. Now, this is how you do your optimal damage. Obviously, you need to move around a little bit because you don't want to die. You don't want to die, man. But most of the time, man, you want to be trying to stand still as much as possible to generate that huge damage bonus. And like I said, guys, earlier, Gogok has Swiftness. So basically, this replaces Enforcer. Okay, so gain swiftness for every attack, increases your attack speed by 1% and dodge by at levels 129, 1.79%. For 4 seconds, this effect stacks up to 15 times. So while you're nuking, you always have, you've got to have a target that you're hitting. You get the buff icon here. You always have 15% extra attack speed all the time, and that will let you free up some other rolls on your gear for more, say, cooldown to do even more damage on your character to proc your Crimson. So you could give up maybe your attack speed roll here on your Compass Rose and put that to cooldown, because you're capping out pretty much anyway on your Gogok. So you can tweak your gear slightly now, which is really nice. Also, guys, this variant is actually tankier as well, which is good. And yeah, 50% cooldown per stack swiftness as well, which is great. So it's directly buffing your Captain Crimsons as well. It's really good. And guys, it's Travel Explosion, obviously, to get the 2-piece bonus there. And Stricken. Okay, you guys Stricken, guys, because this is a GR solo push build. Stricken basically makes you so you can kill the Ref Guardian super quick. Brilliant. Lovely. Okay, guys, wearing Mundunugu's gloves, shoulders, helm, chest plate, and boots on this particular setup. You can craft Crimson boots if you wish, and wear some legs if you found a good pair, maybe a primal pair. Lovely. Always use, guys, reds, rubies or emeralds in your chest and your legs to decrease your armor value. Okay, decrease your armor value. You could use topazes, I guess, if you want a bit more damage, but this build is designed to go 130 plus when you're fully orbed. Okay, so well, it depends on Paragon, it will go higher, but it's really important to make that armor as high as possible. That's why you always use rubies or emeralds in your chest and legs. Super important. Unless you're playing 4-player group, of course, guys, then you already have supports to keep yourself alive. Always use the diamond and helmet, guys, for more cooldown reduction, which directly boosts your bloody damage when you're catching crimsons, man. Sorry, guys, let me just have a sip of my coffee, man. I'm still half asleep. Blimey. Oh, there we go. That's better, man. That's better. Lovely. Okay, so, yeah, guys, as usual, guys, the Kumba's Ornament Bracer as well for 30% damage reduction as well. Oh, the top, man. And the key to the build, guys, of course, is Gazing Demise. Okay, Gazing Demise, basically. Spirit Barrage gains the Phantasm Room, which is this little one here. This is no longer classed as a pet anymore, so it doesn't receive any pet bonuses like Mask of Jerem before, so like I talked about earlier. But it still does some really good damage, okay, so it's still good. Each active Phantasm lasts twice as long, increases the damage of Spirit Barrage by 150%, also increase the attack rate of Manitou Spectre by 150% as well. So when you cast 3 times, this is when the Manitou Spectre's here will shoot at the bolts like crazy. Now, guys, I know it's weird, but no Sacred Harvester. I know, there is no Sacred Harvester in this build. Finally! No Sacred Harvester. Okay, so to make up the damage loss from Mask of Jerem and Enforcer, we have to put in Vu's Juicer. Now, Vu's Juicer, as you can see, has up to 60% Spirit Barrage damage bonus, which is kind of a big deal. It's a lot of damage. And also, it gives you the Philottomize and Spirit's William runes as well, which is basically the healing and mana rune. Okay, which is great. Okay, so you get those runes for free, so that means you can always have Manitou on. And Manitou is disgusting. You know, as Manitou builds up on a target, it won't just go, it won't hit the monster once and do a little bit of damage. It'll build up so much damage on the monster that once it gets to its point of its HP, it will just die instantly. So this is unbelievably good on a Rift Guardian, okay? So as you're looking at Rift Guardian here, your little spectres are still doing damage and exploding and all that. Your Manitou will be attacking that Rift Guardian. Just keep it on that Rift Guardian, guys. It's about 20 yards range. And once it accumulates to a certain point of its HP, the rest of its HP, it will just insta-kill it. That's why Manitou is so good in speed farming, you know, as you zip through. All those weak monsters got really small HP, so just go pop, 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 pop around you. So, but yeah, it's brilliant, man. You get all 3 major runes on this setup. Brilliant, man. Absolutely fantastic. So, yeah. So yeah, guys, you always got mana, you always got healing, and you got the best Manitou rune in the game, the Spirit Barrage rune in the game, Manitou, man, which is so good, man, so good. Okay, so that makes up for some of the damage lost now from losing Jerem and Enforcer, and so does Gogok as well, because Gogok gives us cooldown, so it procs out Captain Crimson's as well, which is great. And it's always up. It's always up. It gives you more defense, more the dodge. It's great, man. Brilliant. Okay, let's go over to the cube. Okay, guys, in the cube, of course, is the Barber, key to the build. Instead of dealing direct damage, your Spirit Barrage now accumulates on the target. When you stop casting, it explodes, dealing 500 weapon damage to all enemies within 15 yards. This does not scale with area damage, okay? So do not put area damage in your gear or in your Paragon, because when you go like 130 plus, it will lag. It will lag, sometimes even in solo. Brilliant. Okay, guys, now to make up for the tankiness, man, from losing Sacred Harvester, because Sacred Harvester gives us 10 stacks of Soul Harvest. When you wear this with Lakumba's Ornament Bracer, it gives you 60% damage reduction. Now, with the setup we've got right now, this is only providing 30% damage reduction, okay? So we have to make up the extra damage reduction. Now, because we don't have to use Mask of Jerem anymore, wherever it's gone, this doesn't affect the build anymore. Your best option now to make up for that defense, and more so as well, is actually using the Aquila. While by 90% prime resource, all damage is reduced by 50%. Now, because we're getting so much resource cost reduction from Captain Crimson's and your other resource cost reduction stuff on your gear, your Aquila is always up. The only time it goes down is when you sometimes cast one of the big mana spenders like Nado or a Pestilence sort of thing. But you can see, like, it pops up straight away. Bang, like, it's popped up straight away. Okay. Right now I've got 940 mana. You can put a little bit of mana in your Paragon to help with this a little bit. But remember, as you're casting Spirit Barrage, you're always gaining mana now, thanks to Vu's Juicer. So this is going to shoot straight back up really, really quickly. So you only have a tiny window where you're actually vulnerable. But if you're lucky enough to have like proper mana rolls in your gear, unfortunately I don't have mana here or mana on my helm, that would actually be completely solid. Okay, be completely solid. That way you'd have to muck around with your Paragon points a little bit. Cool. Alright, so there you guys, well, what you can do as well, if you don't care about defense, you just want to go YOLO DPS, you can actually put Frostburns in here as well. Frostburns is awesome on this because it will give you a 20% damage buff with a freeze effect as well, which is actually really, really nice. If I can actually find it. Where the hell is Frostburns, guys? Have I even extracted them? I can't remember now. I know it's here somewhere. Frostburns, where are you? There they are. Sorry guys, I'll have more coffee. Give me a sec. It's been one of those days. So yeah, cold skills increase 20% increased damage and have a 50% chance to freeze enemies. So if you don't want to have that extra tank, but if you're pushing really high, I suggest you have a cooler in, so that way you don't have to keep moving around as much, and that way you can proc Endless Walk set bonus off more often to keep that damage up. But yeah, if you want to, you can actually use Frosties, man, and have that extra 20% damage bonus on top. And a freeze as well, man, so you can CC the Rift Guardian and things like that. So yeah, little option. And of course, guys, last one is a Ring of Royal Grandeur to achieve 6-piece bonus on Mundunugu, and of course 3-piece here for our Captain Crimson set. Brilliant. Alright, let's quickly go over the skills, quickly. The skills! Okay guys, Spirit Barrage Manitou! Okay, we just went over that just a minute ago, so this is your primary nuke, as it accumulates enough damage onto a target, which is outright kill it. Even Rift Guardians, it's great. And you always get these 2 runes for free, for Otterbuys and with Spirit's Witness. So basically now we've always got mana incoming, healing incoming, and it makes this version of the build much, much tankier than the last one. Much, much tankier. When I'm standing still and I've got my defences up, I'm sitting at around about, I think it's about 800, 900 million toughness, which is insane, and when I'm moving it's about 1.8 billion. So it's much, much tankier. It's actually very, very hardcore friendly as well, which is kind of cool. We'll go over some of the hardcore stuff in a sec as well. So you guys, Piranhas, Piranado, as usual, this is your grouping spell, so you want to be casting this, man, so you want to find a elite pack, pour loads and loads of mobs in using your peasants, man, zap them in as usual. And they go, no you don't, everything goes to one spot, and you just start nuking them, boys, just go boom, 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 just keep casting, don't hold down the tree, just keep casting, it, bang, 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 bang. Don't worry about no pause method, just keep nuking, man, just keep nuking. And they'll drop nice and quick. Brilliant. Okay guys, Locust Swarm Pestilence, this procs your Ring of Emptus Ring. This is how you get your big damage up to 300%. You have to cast this every 8 seconds, okay? Every 8 seconds, because we're not using Creeping Death passive in this build, okay? So you have to go cast and just count it in your head, you know, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. And then just keep nuking, and then remember to recast every 8 seconds, okay? Remember to do that. It'd be nice if Ring of Emptus had a damage buff icon above the mob's head or something, that'd be cool. Maybe one day. Also, guys, you can change this over to, where is it? Cloud of Insects for more damage reduction if you want. But to be honest, the way the build is now, it's got so much damage reduction, just keep up Pestilence for the 100% spread. But that is an option there. But you probably have to cast it about three times in a pack of mobs, and that would drain a ton of mana and your Aquila will go down, okay? So just a little thing there. Soul Harvest Language, guys, increase your intelligence, your armour as well, which of course is always great. Spirit Box Severance, basically this makes you indestructible for 2 seconds. I prefer the movement speed one, because I love Severance, I really like the movement speed one. But if you want extra tank, you can go over to Jaunt if you want to. Increase the duration of Spirit Walk to 3 seconds. But I'm just personally just so used now, just to like zipping around super fast. But it's just one I prefer. But Jaunt is definitely a great choice for this. Your 1 second of damage immunity, which is great. Big Bad Voodoo Ghost Trance, guys. Increase your movement speed and attack speed by 15% for 20 seconds. Doubles up with the set bonus to 40. Because the amount of cooldown we've got in this build, and now we're using Gogok, you can keep this ability up 24/7 now in this particular setup, which is great. It's always on. It's just always on. It's great. So you always got that healing coming in, and that 20% damage reduction as well. It's brilliant. Absolutely lovely. Okay, guys, for passives then, Confidence Ritual. So you deal 25% additional damage to enemies within 20 yards. Actually, a multiplication bonus as well, which is great. Grave Justice gives you cooldowns, healing, and mana as you kill targets within 20 yards as well, which is great. Really key to the build. Blood Ritual, guys, is so good. Now, normally on the other build, you would normally have Rush of Essence in this build, okay, to proc the 6-piece bonus damage buff, this one here. But it's not really worth it. It's not really worth it. You know, we only did this really to keep our mana recharged, but now because we're getting a free mana recharge because of Vu's Juicer having the mana rune for free now, we no longer need Rush of Essence, and it's much, much, much better to use Blood Ritual instead. Okay, so 20% of mana costs are now paid in life. In addition, you regenerate 1% of your maximum life per second. I've got around about almost 700k there, so it's almost 7,000 life per second as well, which is great. So it just keeps you sustained all the time. And as you've got your Ghost Trance on as well from Big Mad Voodoo, that's giving you an extra 5% per second as well. Okay, so it gives you a really nice healing boost. It's coming in all the time. But the main thing about Blood Ritual, it gives you 20% resource cost reduction. Okay, and it just gives you a ton of tank, like loads of tank, man, so much tank. And this is why we're up to 47%. So it just gives you a huge surge of resource cost reduction. You can cast like crazy, keeps your Aquila up, but more importantly, you're getting damage reduction here from Capture Crimsons as well, and it will just work so well, man. So great. The last one of these guys, of course, is Spirit Vessel, man, because you just don't want to die. If you're on hardcore, definitely run it like this way, sort of thing's been great. What you can do on hardcore, though, guys, is instead of Confidence Ritual, you can switch that out to Swampland Attunement. So that way you gain tons of physical, poison, fire, and cold resistance for every enemy within 20 yards. Okay. So if you're on hardcore, I personally would go like this. That would be so tanky. But if you're on softcore, then just pop over the Confidence Ritual. And off you go. To be honest, guys, if you're on softcore, what you could do as well, actually, instead of playing with Spirit Vessel, you could just swap that out and go directly to Swampland Attunement. I've done this many times, like giving up self-res for Swampland Attunement, so that when you're putting like tons of mobs, your resistance goes through the roof and you can't really die. On this particular setup, where you're healing yourself constantly, you know, it's going to be really, really good. But I've got some video footage, guys, coming up in a second of a GR 130 being completed with this exact gear and Paragon setup. Also, guys, always use the Templar as well, man. Templar all the time, baby. Just make sure. Personally, I like to use Thunder Fury with Wire of Ring, so as the Thunder Fury goes off, it does a stun. And it interrupts the target, especially with Rift Guardians, man. It's so good. Just stack attack speed and cooldown reduction on all your bits of jewelry and stuff. And also, Thunder Fury debuffs their attack speed as well, which is good for multiple targets, so it really keeps you alive. I like to use Unwell Dive for the charm, and of course, Oculus Ring, guys, as well. So as you kill a target, you get that big glowing yellow pool of power, jump in that, and boom, the damage goes through the roof. And Shield Anderson uses freeze off deflection from the Rift Guardian. Then it's just, personally, I like to go left, 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 and then right for the extra heal. But if you need more mana, maybe say your Aquila's dropping maybe a little bit because you're not quite geared right up quite right now, you can go over to Inspire, which generates you some mana per second. But personally, I like the heal. I like the heal, man. Heals, man. Nice. Okay, guys, so what I did is, this character is set up exactly the same as I did on Season 20, the season that just finished on 268. Now, during that season, so quick look, I did GR 135 in 14 minutes and 6, okay? And I did this, let's have a quick look. I did this at 2000 Paragon, and that's with the setup with Enforcer and Musketeer in the setup, okay? Now it's at 2000 Paragon. What I've done is, I am currently got this character set up at around about it's 2.3k Paragon. I've got this character set up for intelligence bonus and all the other points here. It's about 2.3, 2.4k Paragon. Now what happened is, when I heard about the nerf, I straight away loaded up live on 268 during the season and simulated this build straight away to see what I could do with it. Now I did that 135, almost did 136 actually as well the other day with 2.3k Paragon. So the power loss we've lost with this versus with this particular setup, we've only lost about 3, maybe 4 levels. That's it, which ain't too bad for solo. For group play, I don't really know. I'm more of a solo guy sort of thing. But yeah, you only lost about 3 to 4 levels, guys, which is fine, and that brings us in line with the other classes in the game. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Right, guys. So what I'm gonna do then? I'm gonna show you guys a rift. I'm just gonna be quiet for a bit, and I'll chime in near the end on the Rift Guardian fight. Enjoy the footage. Here we go. Build in action, guys. Build in action. By the way, I do die a couple of times in this clear because I did drink this coffee. Yeah, a couple of deaths. But like I said earlier, guys, you do get a lot more toughest versions than the other version of Live, man. It's much tougher. Right, I'm just going to drink this coffee, guys. See you in a sec. This guy should pop any second. There it is, bang. There you go, guys. So let's talk about Mana 2. As Mana 2 builds up onto the target and it exceeds its HP, it will just outright kill it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. There it is, death number 1. Not awake, guys, not awake. It's like I did try some other gem setups as well, guys. Like I said, a Gogok, I tried Zeostone of Vengeance, which works quite well, so you can do it as a range build. That was pretty sweet. I tried Powerful as well. Powerful works quite good as well. Obviously, it's timed. But overall, I do think Gogok is probably our best bet. Like I said earlier, you know, it gives us dodge, it gives us an extra 15% attack speed, so we can roll off some other stuff from Jewelry to cooldown reduction to proc Crimson's even more, or maybe resource cost reduction, whatever you need to use, man. You know, whatever you need to fill the gaps on your character. But yeah, the extra attack speed, you know, the cooldown reduction, you know, it's all... It fits in perfectly, you know, and obviously if you're on a single target as well, like a single Rift Guardian, that buff's going to be up 24/7, doing DPS, stacking Stricken faster, etc, etc. It's cool. But yeah, guys, what they just like get as many mobs as possible, just round up as many, hopefully small mobs as possible with monster generators, so mobs that summon other mobs, you know, like little team guys, wretched mothers, things like that. Then pull that density together with using your Nado and get with the elite packs into the middle of it. Run to your yellow pools of power like I did just there. And then just nuke them into the ground. Just nuke them into the ground, baby, and watch them drop. Because remember, the more targets around your Spirit Barrage explosion, is going to be exploding on everything around it per mob. Okay, so get as many mobs as possible together to maximise your damage. If you run out of mobs, then really what you should do really is move on and try to pull the elites into more trash if they're available. But remember though, your Mana 2 once it accumulates onto one target. So you've got one yellow pack left, like this guy here. Like he's yeah, it's right. I've got no mobs left now, and right now it's going to be the Mana 2 that's going to finish this guy off. There it is, pop. But yeah, always try pull elites to tons and tons of trash. And yes, that coffee was delicious. Hey, there it is, guys. Death number 2. Also, guys, when you die in this build, because we don't have 10 stacks of Soul Harvest now, it's actually easier now to recover to your top toughness. You know, normally, say you're on a Rift Guardian fight, you're just dying elite like this. You have to go get yourself 10 stacks of Soul Harvest. So if you misclick it, it could cost you quite badly if you don't get 10 stacks straight away. But because we only have a maximum of 5, you know, it doesn't matter that much because a big bunch of your damage reduction is actually come from Aquila in the cube. Nice. By the way, guys, I'm not saying this is the best solo build for the next patch, well, the current patch, I should say now, for the Witch Doctor, man. After the nerf, there probably will be something slightly stronger. Maybe, I don't know, but it's the best I've put together for now, sort of thing. Just saying that we can play now and get ready for Season 21. But, you know, it's extremely solid. There is so much damage reduction in this build. There's so much, like... I know I've got fully all gear on, but I wanted to show this at a test standpoint, versus last patch to this patch, with the exact same Paragon pretty much, and exactly the same gear. And it works very, very well. But yeah, we'll see what happens, guys, and yeah, if I need to update the video, then I'll update. Hey, GG map. Lovely. You can just see how fast all the cooldowns are cycling now. Like GI, tons of cooldown coming from Go-Go Smiths and this and all that. And you can just Spirit Walk so often. So often you can cast Nado pretty much all the time. You've got Perma, BBB up now as well. It's absolutely fantastic, man. To be honest, guys, the way the build plays now feels more... It's got a better flow to it, you know, it's got a much better flow to it. Because we've got more attack speed, especially in the build now from Gogok, you can get off with your spells quicker. There's not much animation frames going off, so it just has a better flow of gameplay. I actually prefer the way this plays now compared to the last version of the build, even though it's about 3 GR levels lower, because, you know, it's got way more tank now, way more tank, man. It's good. Back, guys, in the old days, man, when the PTR came out for Spirit Barrage Witch Doctor ages ago, the Phantasm being a pet was actually a bug. They just left it in for ages because it made the build viable. But now with the new Spirit Barrage set, it was too strong, so that's why they have basically fixed it. But don't worry, guys, it's absolutely fine. It's great. One problem though, guys, with this build is going to get a good Vooz Juicer. If you cubed Vooz Juicer, you'd lose the Spirit Barrage damage bonus, which is horrible. Okay, so yeah, we need to see if we can go find a primal primal Vooz Juicer, guys, or hopefully a decent ancient one. So good luck hunting, guys. Good luck hunting, man. Same for Barber as well. You know, Barber's got the secondary bonus as well. So yeah, if you're lucky enough to get a primal Barber, guys, or a Vooz Juicer, man, then GG, man. You're good to go. But yeah, no more Sacred Harvest, guys. It's actually kind of a relief not to use that anymore. It's always been key to our toughness all the time. But this is a nice workaround. It works really well. At this point, I should have skipped this pack, because it's got a shield. You know, if a mob's got a shield, frozen, most of the time I'll just skip it. You know, or Juggernaut, something like that. When you're doing your push, guys, because it just takes so long to kill them that any progression you would have got for them will be pretty much just equaled out or go into the lioness. So, yeah, shielding, frozen, Juggernaut, most of the time skip. Good ones though, guys, is Illusionist. Illusionist is pretty good actually, because there's so many extra clones. Makes your barber explode even more because they summon more clones around them. Just to nader them up, group them up, and boom. Nice. And it's Rift Guardian time. I got a Gom, guys, or aka Veracity. This guy drops lots of poison stuff on the floor, so... But the thing is that he will chase you, though, which is good, so you can just, like, back up and make him walk into you. But the best thing, guys, about this build is it doesn't matter what Rift Guardian you have. Don't get me wrong, there's always going to be certain Rift Guardians that are going to be the easiest sort of thing. But with this particular setup, it doesn't matter if the Rift Guardian has ads or not. Okay, if he does spawn a load of ads, like Satchris, Hannon, and all that sort of stuff, then you can basically cast Spirit Barrage on the Rift Guardian, and also hit those ads and make your Barber explode for even more damage, and the Rift Guardian will go down very, very quickly. But if you got Rift that doesn't summon any ads, or just a few ads, then the Manitou is going to do loads and loads of damage. You can see here right now, it's accumulating on the Rift Guardian. As soon as it breaks away on another target, or you go out of range, then you'll see all that damage basically explode on the target and rip a big chunk of his health out. But like I said, you know, if it gets to the point where Manitou exceeds... Look at my toughness there, wow. If it exceeds the Rift Guardian's HP or target's HP, then it will just kill it outright. You can already see, like, we got slightly out of range there because the Poison Cloud, and a big chunk of his health got ripped out. Absolutely loads. Little pool power there, guys, from killing an ad. If you can, nail them to the top of the Rift Guardian. The Crawl's explosion damage from Barber. Bang, bang, bang. Look, he's going down nice and quick, man. Can you believe this is without Master Jerem? Without Master Jerem and without Enforcer. Look, Gogok is up all the time, so we've got that dodge buff there. The cooldown reduction is giving us loads of cooldowns. And proccing our Captain Crimson is making us do more damage. It's making up for the lack of Jerem and Enforcer. But yeah, guys, we only lost about 3, maybe 4 levels in solo. Absolutely fine. And it actually makes, like I said earlier, it actually makes the build more fun to play. Because it's just got a much better flow now. Much, much better flow. We might see a little mini pop here. I don't have loads of Manitou there, but you see there, you had about maybe 10% left there. And just got popped. There you go, guys. So yeah, guys, all the gear is fully orged, but I'm going to show this build to video today at standboard that I tested on the last patch versus the new patch with the exact same gear, exact same gem levels, Paragon, etc, etc. And yeah, this tester basically as revealed it's about 3 to 4 levels lower than the previous patch, which brings us in line with the other classes in the game, which is absolutely fine. So for those that have been worried about Witch Doctor, guys, don't worry, man. It's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine, man. And any build guys that need updating, guys, for speed, etc, etc, I'll get those updated soon. But basically 2.3k Paragon. Exactly what I did on the last test. Excellent! My Voodoo brothers, don't worry, man, we're all still GG. Brilliant. And there you go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video guide. As usual, feel free to like and subscribe and turn that bell on, guys, for more guides. I'll have a lot more stuff recorded quite soon. Actually, I've got a lot of stuff to work on. The new season, guys, starts on July the 3rd. But remember, guys, this build will work on non-season because the seasonal play does not change any build mechanics. So you can just boot this up right now and play it. I'm not saying you can do 130 straight away because, you know, obviously this is fully org sort of thing. But it'll easily bust through a 110, 115, maybe to 120. Probably without no walks. Love you guys, thanks very much. In the description of this video guide with the build guide link to Diablo fans for the best roll of all the gear, exactly how to roll your gear, skill setups, gem subs, etc, etc. Cheers guys, take care, have fun in Sanctuary, and stay safe of course. I'll see you guys soon. Oh, it's fun.